World trembling with football fever. Argentina take on Spain in World Cup final tonight. BTV and BTV News to broadcast the match live. Government's cost of broadcasting World Cup Football 2026 nearly zero. In contrast, nearly 140 crore taka transacted through intermediaries during Qatar World Cup 2022, says Information and Broadcasting Minister. Met Office forecast heavy rainfall over various regions of country from July 21st. Risk of short-term flooding in several districts over next 2 days. Investigation agency receives information that 61 people killed in Shapla Chattar incident. 58 victims identified, says Chief Prosecutor. LGRD Minister urges opposition to refrain from spreading confusion regarding July Charter and Joint Constitution Amendment Committee. Nobody can do politics for long by selling July spirit. The politics will not last if they take path of old settlements while speaking of new ones, says Home Minister. Iran attacks with ballistic missile and drone in Jordan. 2 US soldiers killed. Assalamu alaikum. I'm Musert Nazib welcoming you to News at 10. You have just heard the headlines. Now we move on to the news in details. Let's begin the bulletin with news on World Cup football. Defending champions Argentina face off Spain in the final of the World Cup at 1 a.m. tonight. Both teams are no strangers to nail-biting finals. 4 of the past 5 FIFA World Cup finals were decided beyond the 90-minute mark, with either Spain or Argentina featuring in 3 of them. Spain won its first ever World Cup in South Africa in 2010, defeating the Netherlands in the final thanks to a 116-minute goal by Andres Iniesta. Argentina, in turn, lost the 2014 final in Brazil to Germany, conceding a 113-minute goal to Mario Götze. They, however, triumphed over France in Qatar 2022, led by Messi in one of the greatest finals in history. They now face the challenge to remain the crown. Information and Broadcasting Minister Zahiruddin Shapla said the ousted Sheikh Hasina government allegedly embezzled around 140 crore taka in the name of broadcasting the 2022 FIFA World Cup. He said the alleged corruption involved a Singapore-based company, Tama Construction, and several middlemen. Speaking at a press conference at the Secretariat today, Zahiruddin Shapla said BTV directly purchased the broadcasting rights for this year's World Cup from FIFA. As a result, the government saved public money instead of spending extra. He added that the alleged corruption related to the 2022 World Cup is currently under investigation. According to the minister, this time the government avoided unnecessary spending and ensured cost savings. At the press conference, BTV Director General Mahbub Alam said BTV's direct agreement with FIFA to broadcast the World Cup was a rare achievement. He expressed hope that the people would see more such initiatives from BTV in the future. The Information Minister also said that in previous World Cups, Argentina and Brazil remained the most popular teams among Bangladeshi football fans. He also said the government will look at ways to use the popularity of Argentina and Brazil to promote football in Bangladesh. River water levels continue to rise across different parts of Bangladesh due to persistent rainfall, hill runoff, and the influence of a low-pressure system over the Bay of Bengal. Several rivers are flowing above their danger levels, and water levels in a number of rivers in the northern, northeastern, and coastal regions are expected to rise further over the next 3 days. The Someshwari River at Kalmakanda station in Netrokona remains above the danger level in Naga. Water levels of the Atrai and Small Jamuna rivers have reached the warning level at several monitoring points. Over the next 2 days, water levels in the Tista, Dharla and Dudkumar rivers are expected to rise further and may exceed the danger level at some locations. As a result, short-term flooding may occur in low-lying riverside areas of Lalmonirhat, Nilphamari, Rangpur, Gaibandha and Kurigram districts. Although water levels in the Brahmaputra-Jamuna river system are also rising, they remain below the danger level. Over the next 5 days, water levels in rivers within the Ganges-Podda basin across the northern, northwestern and central regions are also expected to increase. Meanwhile, in Borishal division, water levels have exceeded the danger mark at several points along the Kirtankhola, Tetulia, Meghna, Bishkhali, Boleshwari and Paira rivers. Unusually high tides have inundated low-lying coastal areas, causing widespread disruption to normal life. The Kushiara River continues to flow above the danger level at the Fenuganj station in Sylhet and Markuli Point in Sunamganj. Coastal rivers in Chattogram division are also experiencing higher than normal tidal levels. To address the flood situation, the local administration is continuing relief distribution and rehabilitation efforts in the affected areas. At the same time, authorities are maintaining round-the-clock monitoring of the flood-affected regions and providing additional assistance as needed. The investigation agency of the International Crimes Tribunal has found evidence that 61 people were killed during the Hifazat-e-Islam rally at Shapla Chattar in Motijil, Dhaka on 5th May 2013. Speaking at a press briefing this morning after receiving the investigation report, ICT Chief Prosecutor Aminul Islam said that 58 of the victims have been positively identified. Briefing reporters on the progress of the case, he said the investigation agency has not yet disclosed the full list of accused in the interest of ongoing arrest operations. However, he indicated that the number of accused could be 41 or more. Meanwhile, a delegation from the Hifazat-e-Islam, including Senior Naibe Amir Abdul Hamid and Joint Secretary General Maulana Mamunul Haq, met with the Chief Prosecutor to discuss the progress of the case. During the briefing, Mamunul Haq said he was generally satisfied with the draft investigation report prepared by the investigation agency. He added that the delegation had requested some revisions to the report. LGRD Minister Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir said the public is being misled over the implementation of the July Charter. He made the remarks today while speaking at the chief guest at the function honoring journalists martyred during the July movement at the Institution of Engineers Bangladesh in the capital. Mirza Fakhrul said the BNP would implement the July Charter after signing it. He also urged opposition parties to join the Constitutional Reform Committee and resolve differences through discussion. The minister said democracy had been destroyed as part of a fascist agenda. He alleged that cases were filed against 60 lakh BNP activists. 1,700 people were also subjected to enforced disappearance during the previous government, he added. At the event, the families of 5 journalists who were killed during the movement were honored with crest and 1 lakh taka each. National Editors Council presented the awards in recognition of their sacrifice. Speakers at the program also praised the role of journalists during the movement while criticizing parts of the media. They said some journalists had played a major role in the rise of fascism. National Editors Council Joint Convener Mahmoudur Rahman urged journalists to move away from flattering and biased reporting. Home Minister Salahuddin Ahmed has said, selling July spirit will not let anyone do politics for long. The politics will not sustain if they go for old arrangement in the name of new arrangement, he added. The minister made the comment at a discussion organized by Gano Adhikar Porishad at National Press Club in the capital today. The Constitution Amendment Committee will take necessary initiative for reform after discussion with all stakeholders including teachers and lawyers as per the aspiration of July, said the minister, adding that state reform is not possible beyond constitutional structure. Salahuddin Ahmed mentioned that a law to enforce disappearances will be introduced in the next parliament session. The program was addressed among others by State Minister for Liberation War Affairs Ishraq Hussain. Gona Adhikar Porishad President Nurul Haq Nur chaired the event. Home Minister Salahuddin Ahmed today called on government employees and officials to perform their duties with patriotism, honesty and professionalism while remaining free from political bias. He said this at the opening session of a workshop organized on the occasion of National Public Service Day at Shahbag in the capital today. The minister emphasized on ensuring transparency and accountability at all levels of administration. The major responsibility of the government officials is to play effective role for the welfare of the people, he added. He also stressed on reforming statistics systems, attaching priority to agriculture and remittance sectors, and expanding technical education to build skilled manpower for formulating proper policy guidelines. Labour and Employment Minister Ariful Haq Chaudhry has said the current government is fully committed to protecting workers' rights and ensuring safe working environment. The minister said this in a meeting with International Labour Organization ILO Director General Gilbert Hongbo at the minister's office in the Secretariat today. The meeting featured fruitful discussions on modernizing Bangladesh's labour sector, reforming labour laws, creating new employment opportunities, and further strengthening bilateral cooperation in ensuring international labour standard. The minister said the Bangladesh Labour Amendment Act 2026 has been enacted accordingly. With the law, Bangladesh has advanced significantly in ensuring international labour standard. The minister further said that efforts are underway to establish a new employment directorate under the ministry to create employment opportunities for skilled manpower both domestically and abroad. Calling for increased technical and institutional cooperation from the ILO to address challenges of technology and global changes and ensure safe working environments, the minister said Bangladesh has been playing a highly responsible role as a member of the governing body. ILO Director General Gilbert Hongbo highly praised Bangladesh's groundbreaking labour sector reforms, particularly the ratification of the 10 core conventions and the enactment of new Labour Act in 2026. He assured that the ILO will stand by Bangladesh in maintaining freedom of association and international labour standards in all workplaces, including EPZs, protecting migrant workers and creating employment opportunities, and will continue policy and technical cooperation in all areas, including a proposed joint mission next year. State Minister for Foreign Affairs Shama Obaid Islam said Bangladesh is embarking on a new journey to improve work ambience. She said this during a meeting with Director General of ILO Gilbert F. Hongbo at Foreign Ministry today. During the meeting, the State Minister for Foreign Affairs highlighted the government's commitment to advancing decent work, social justice and labour rights through comprehensive labour sector reforms. She called for ILO's continued cooperation and constructive engagement in strengthening labour governance, protecting migrant workers and facilitating safe, regular and skilled labour mobility from Bangladesh. The ILO Director General reaffirmed the organization's continued support for Bangladesh's endeavour and priorities in advancing labour sector reform, decent work and social justice. A delegation of the United Nations Development Programme (UNDP) called on Deputy Speaker Barrister Kaiser Kamal at his office today. During the call on, the delegation led by UNDP Deputy Resident Representative Sonali Dayaratne exchanged views on Bangladesh's parliamentary democracy and the ways and means to strengthen parliamentary institutions. The Deputy Speaker sought technical and financial support from the UNDP for implementing e-Parliament initiative. The Deputy Speaker agreed on the proposal for exchanging experience between the Parliament members of Bangladesh and Nepal. During the meeting, Deputy Speaker Barrister Kaiser Kamal laid emphasis on formulating necessary laws to strengthen parliamentary standing committees. Senior Governance Advisor Dragan Popovic, Senior Governance Specialist Tanvir Mahmood, Project Manager Mahmoudul Hassan and the concerned officials of Jatiyo সংসদ were present at the time. Now international news.